There are just over 3 million people in Utah. That means that roughly 2 million Utahns are both old enough and eligible to vote. So you might think that if 2 million Utahns vote, a candidate would need to get at least 1 million of those votes to win, right? Nope, wrong. In 2012, just over 1 million Utahns voted, which is barely more than half. That means that roughly 1 million eligible voters in Utah just didn't even vote. In fact, that same year, over 500,000 eligible voters didn't even register, let alone vote. So this is a really big deal. Every American knows that it took a long time and a lot of sacrifice to arrive at modern democracy, but when people don't vote or participate, democracy can't work. So here's the question: why do so many people in Utah who could vote choose not to? Now, to be fair, getting people to participate and vote is hard everywhere, but Utah is way below the national average, and actually getting worse instead of better. For example, as of October this year, there are less than 1.4 million active registered voters in Utah. That means, just like in 2012, there are still 500,000 Utahns who haven't registered to vote, even with online registration and mail-in ballots making it easier than it's ever been. Even in 2012, when some people speculated that having Mitt Romney on the ballot would motivate more Utahns to vote, still only 57% of eligible Utahns voted. What's worse is that in the less glamorous non-presidential election years, like 2010 or 2014, it drops to almost half that. So why exactly is Utah's democracy so unhealthy? Well, the answer in a single word: supermajority. Political scientists have been studying this question for a long time and concluded that there's really only one thing that can consistently guarantee higher voter turnout, and that's competition. When voters perceive that an election is competitive and that their vote counts, they show up. So what does that have to do with Utah? And what exactly is a supermajority? Well, supermajority refers to a party that controls a majority of the seats or votes in a governing body. In the case of Utah, the Republican Party has controlled all 5 statewide offices for 15 years, and more than 50% of the state legislature for even longer. That means the Republican Party in Utah can write laws, get them approved in the House and Senate, then signed by the governor, all without any input or challenge from basically anyone else. That's really, really bad for democracy. It means one party can pass laws that voters don't actually want. It means they can change rules they don't like, such as making it okay to hold their meetings behind closed doors with no press allowed, or gerrymandering, which means redrawing boundary lines in a way that favors candidates from their party. Basically, it means there's no competition. It means that the democratic process isn't allowed to work in Utah. It creates a vicious cycle where one party has too much power and too little competition, so more voters think their vote probably doesn't count, so they stay home, which leads to even less competition. So what do? Just vote. Every vote matters, this year more than ever. To be clear, this isn't some sappy lecture about why you have to vote because it's your duty. Look, this is a free country, and if you don't want to vote, you can skip it. It's not criminal. But guess what? It means that for the next 2 or 4 years, you'll have to deal with whatever the supermajority decides. That's right, even if you're in the majority of Utahns who want one thing, you'll get another. And you won't be able to do a single thing about it. This November, get registered and vote. Help end the supermajority and bring balance back to Utah.